The Gospel of Thomas, the unmediated word of Yeshua. Before doctrine, before scripture, before institutions rose to stand between teacher and listener, there was a voice speaking directly to those willing to hear. Yeshua did not arrive to start a new religion, construct a system of belief, or establish an authority demanding obedience. He spoke to awaken perception, to disrupt inherited certainty and return attention inward. What he offered was not mediation through priests, churches, rituals, or future promises of salvation, but immediate recognition, unmediated, direct, and unfiltered. The Gospel of Thomas preserves this original encounter. Words spoken without intermediaries, instruction delivered without explanation, and truth offered without control. What remains is not a theology to accept, but a doorway to step through. Within the Gospel of Thomas, the message of Yeshua appears stripped of narrative, ritual, and institutional framing. There are no miracles to marvel at, no passion story to interpret, no resurrection to defend, only sayings. This absence is not a loss, it is the point. The Gospel of Thomas preserves the unmediated word of Yeshua, a living transmission encountered inwardly rather than believed outwardly. These sayings were not designed to inform the mind, but to awaken perception. Unlike texts composed long after events had passed, the sayings in Thomas reflect immediacy. They are not theological reconstructions written generations later to explain who Yeshua was. They are sayings preserved by Didymus Thomas, reflecting the immediacy of Yeshua's spoken words. There is no attempt to frame them within a completed story or to harmonize them with doctrine. The voice is direct, present, and unfiltered. What we encounter is not memory shaped by time, but instruction delivered in the moment, raw, unfinished, and intentionally open. The unmediated words of Yeshua in the Gospel of Thomas do not explain, they reveal. Each saying functions as a mirror rather than a command, turning the listener back toward their own awareness. Yeshua speaks not as a figure demanding allegiance, but as one pointing repeatedly to what is already present. Whoever has ears to hear, let them hear, is not an instruction to obey, but an invitation to recognize. Meaning in Thomas is not imposed. It emerges when the reader becomes receptive enough to see. Unlike later Gospels shaped for doctrine, narrative cohesion, and institutional authority, Thomas preserves a form of teaching that resists control. The words do not establish hierarchy, creed, or system of belief. Instead, they destabilize certainty, dissolve spiritual dependency, and relocate authority within the individual. The kingdom is not promised later, granted by others, or earned through belief. It is recognized here and now through clarity of perception. This immediacy is precisely what made the Gospel of Thomas unsettling, dangerous, and ultimately suppressed. To engage the unmediated word of Yeshua in Thomas is to move beyond belief into direct knowing. The text does not ask the reader to accept conclusions. It asks them to see. Awakening is not something given by the gospel, it is something revealed through it. Those who read Thomas as an instruction will miss it. Those who read it as a doorway will pass through, not into a system of thought, but into a way of seeing that dissolves the need for systems altogether. The unmediated word continues wherever the sayings are lived rather than interpreted. It unfolds in stillness, in attentiveness, in the quiet dissolution of false divisions between sacred and ordinary. In this way, the Gospel of Thomas does not end on the page. It completes itself only when the reader becomes the living text, when the word once spoken becomes the word embodied, and truth is no longer sought through explanation, but recognized through presence. And unlike the many interpretations of the biblical canon, the unmediated words of Yeshua in the Gospel of Thomas require no interpretation at all. They ask only for recognition.